Hello. Well, I hope there's some ladies out there to join me today. And if not, and you're watching this on the homepage after the fact, thank you for joining me and for being there, because I am so excited. Because this is now December, the end of the year has arrived, and I have got so much to be thankful for. But the thing that we start with at our live streaming is tea. So I didn't want to put the milk in too soon because I didn't want to have cold tea. I want to have a nice hot cup of tea with you ladies. So I hope that you've got your hot beverage and that you're ready to have tea with me. I'm going to have a sip right now because I've been waiting to have this tea with you. And I hope you noticed, I'm sure you can't help but notice, these beautiful fuchsias. I just went and picked them from the garden. Aren't they just lovely? Look at that. Do you know what I'm going to do? We've got another camera going here, so I'm going to put these right here so that the other camera can show a nice close-up of these flowers. Look at that. I have to try and make it see that you can see these flowers. Not really working so well. There you go. These flowers and tea for you. Okay, I'll put it back. I wasn't supposed to do that, you see. I was supposed to just leave them where they are because we've got another camera, which is something new we're trying for you today. And that is, this other camera is for me to be able to show you some things from our Oikos basket, and we wanted to be able to do a bit more of a close-up on it. So we're going to try that for you today. But right now, I am just going to have a look quickly to see if there's anybody there joining me. How did I do that again? Let me just have a look here. Check that I've got this all working as it should. I'm not too sure that I have got it working as it should, but never mind, I will figure it out and see if there's some people there that are joining me today. Okay, so we are doing a very unusual thing at the moment, and that it's the middle of the week and the middle of the day, which is a very, very different kind of time frame to what we've done before. We wouldn't normally do this time frame, but we are. Do you know why? Because if you're South African, you'll know what I'm talking about when we say we're load shedding. There's load shedding happening in South Africa, which is actually power outage times. So we've all got this schedule. The different provinces have got different schedules of load shedding times. And we've done a lot of research, which some of you out there might have also been doing, to try and figure out how we can keep things running when our power supply is turned off. And we're looking at that. But my goodness, the cost involved in just being able to have a backup plan is just extreme. So at the moment, we don't have the adequate backup plan in place, but we are working towards that. Maybe anybody who's watching this has, if they've come up with some ways to do it that is more economical than what we currently have some costings on, that would be good to know. And maybe we can all support each other in this load shedding time of sharing with each other what we have discovered, what is working, and what we found to work for helping us through the times when there isn't any power. But be that as it may, what I wanted to talk to you about today, and why I want to work in between the load shedding times and make sure we just live stream anyway, because when we've tried to live stream, the last two we've missed because of weather and because of power outages. So we decided we're not going to try and make our live streaming at the time that we know works best, because that's not necessarily favorable time when it comes to power outages and storms. So now we're just grabbing this moment. That's the middle of the week, the middle of the day, and we're going to chat to you and we're going to see if this can work. Okay, so first off, tea, second, flowers, third, don't forget, I've got the word nearby, close at hand, ready to share with you. That's the most important. And I would like to start today's live streaming by giving thanks, because you know what? I am so thankful for every single Oikos family out there, because I just don't know if you can begin to comprehend even what a huge privilege it is for us to be able to serve you. I just feel that we are incredibly blessed and privileged to be able to be in a position that we can help you in this decision you've made. If you've made this decision to home educate and you made a family decision, and there's a part of that decision that we can be part of in supporting and helping you. And I'm just so thankful for that, because if it weren't for you, if you weren't there making that decision, then we wouldn't have you to help. So your being part of Oikos is actually just a blessing to us and a privilege to us. So I wanted, because we've reached the last month of the year, I wanted in this live streaming just to say thank you to each and every one of you that has been part of this journey, been part of Oikos in this past year and the previous years. Because Oikos is closing next week, and when I say closing, we're not closing down, that's for sure. We are basically just closing the order processing and dispatch and making books and all that side of it, the factory you can call it, the manufacturing part, and the orders dispatch is closing. But the website is going to remain active and open and there for you. So thank you to the web team for keeping that going for us. And Thanksgiving again, you see. So lots to be thankful for. But what we're going to do in the time that the manufacturing side and the dispatch and order processing side is closed is we're going to hopefully keep live streaming going and doing some productions for you to put on the website. So there will also be continued support and help from the website side of things. For an example, you will see on our website that we've got a little bot on the bottom right-hand corner. There's a little bar that says chat to us. Now, in normal hours, working hours, South African time, if you have technical questions or order-related questions or something that you want to ask during this time that the order processing is actually closed, there will still be you can still interact with someone on the actual website. That chat to us isn't a robot, it's an actual person. And so we rotate that support. So you can be sure that there will be somebody there to support you. However, the support isn't on every single level. For example, it's support for you regarding somebody the other day phoned me to say they couldn't download their assessments, for example. So now you're trying to do that. Let's say you are at home and you're using this festive season time to do assessments with all your children, and you can't download the assessment for whatever reason. It could be a problem on the website on our side. It could be some technical problem on your side. But whatever it may be, you maybe need help at that moment. Then you can go to chat to us and you can say, oh, please help me. And then hopefully somebody will be able to help you. Or you could email help@oikosfamily.co.za and someone will get back to you. I'm just suggesting the chat to us because it's more immediate. Okay. And then this is the part that I really hope we'll be having more time with you over, and that is through the live streaming. So if you want to join this live streaming, you want to be able to attend it and be part of it, and you're watching this through Facebook, then you already know that you're following the Oikos Facebook page and you will be notified when we're doing live streaming. However, if you're watching this on the Oikos homepage after the fact, after it was actually live, then I'm going to encourage you to follow Oikos on Facebook, on the Oikos Facebook page. And once you've done that, you'll be notified when we're going to live stream. You'll be notified a day before or an hour before, because if it's a day before, it's never a guarantee because of the fact that we haven't got this whole backup system in place whereby we can go no matter what the weather, no matter what the load shedding, no matter what, we can live stream. We're not there yet. We're hoping to get there. But until we're there, the notifications for live streaming are going to just happen as they happen. So that's why I'm encouraging you to go to the Oikos Facebook page and follow that, and then you're going to automatically be notified, because what will happen is we will put any notices that are pertaining to Oikos there on that, and then hopefully you'll get them. And also, hopefully that will be a support to you in your journey next year, because we're now arriving at 2019 before we know it. And I'm just hoping that 2018 was just a fantastic year for you, because you might have noticed that on the homepage we've also got a feature video, and we are putting on that feature video spot the founding scriptures of Oikos, which we did in January. I actually think we did them in December last year, and we posted them in January, uploaded them or whatever it is. So basically why we're doing that again now is just to remind you to put things in order of priority that is according to God, not according to our priority list. And that brings me to the next thing, and that was last live streaming. I started sharing from our Konos basket. Now, our Konos basket is just simply a memory basket. I'm going to just pick it up. It's on the floor here next to me. I'm just going to give you a quick picture of this. It's a big basket, see? It's not a little basket. And in this basket is memories, Konos memories from our Konos living. And at one of our mom's retreats, one of the moms saw this basket and she said, oh, it would be so nice if you shared that on live streaming. And because basically I only normally share it at mom's retreats. When people come to mom's retreats, if the moment lends itself, I dive into my Konos basket and I share some things from it. Because it is actually just personal. It's personal memories and, just a collection of ideas and things that happen through our years of Konos living. So when this mom encouraged me to share it on live streaming, I was a little reluctant because I don't like things to be prescriptive. You see, I don't like to say, this is how you do it, and this is how we do it, and so now this is how you must do it. That's not what the purpose is at all, because everybody's got their own journey and their own individual children with their own unique and special characters. So we would rather each family develop their own memories, obviously. Not we would rather, that's just going to happen anyway. But even so, I decided, okay, it was a request, it was a special request. I thought, let me do it. Let me share some things from the Konos basket. And it turned out to be a very good idea. So here I am again, and I'm going to share a few more little treasures from my Konos basket. I'm going to just try and just keep sharing from my Konos basket if I can and if there's time. On our live streaming, I will do that. So today, that is what we're going to be going to do. And before I get to that, I'm just going to quickly have a look and see if there's any questions here. Lucy's there. Hello, Lucy. Thank you for joining me, Lucy. It's wonderful. And Sylvie. Sylvie is there with your husband. That's nice. Sylvie is there. What about your girls, Sylvie? Sylvie is the one that actually encouraged me to use the Konos basket. To share from the Konos basket. So thank you for joining me today, Sylvie. And Grant, I hear that he is also there. Hello, Grant. Nice to have a dad on the live streaming. That's nice. That's wonderful. And Sylvie's saying happy day because it's the memory basket, the Konos memory basket. That's its name. Okay. So I'm going to... if you've got any questions, anybody who's joined me, let me know what they are, and I will get back to them. But in the meantime, I'm going to dive straight into sharing from my Konos basket. Okay, so last live streaming, I was sharing about goals and goal keeping, and it just seems to be quite appropriate that we stick with that theme because it's the end of the year, and maybe this will be an idea. I'm going to show you this little book, but maybe it'll be an idea for you to consider sitting with your family at the end of the year and all of you just talking about how the year has been and what goals you have achieved. Perhaps there's some goals you didn't achieve. I know we've got that in our situation in Oikos. There were some goals that we wanted to achieve by this stage and we haven't as yet, but that's okay because we just keep pressing forward and hoping that we will achieve them. We don't just go, oh, well, we didn't achieve that, so, give up. No. We don't do that. We press on until we have achieved that. And if we can't for whatever reasons, then we change it to be fitting, such as we would like to be able to have a backup plan for our live streaming. That would have been something we would have liked to have achieved, and we haven't yet. But we won't give up on it. We'll keep going. But that's now an Oikos goal, you see. So I'm now talking about family goals and personal goals. So let me show you what I did here with this little goal book. Each one of our children had one of these little books, and they started with just doing their own handwritten notes here. Like, for example, Jamie says, what kind of example do I want to be to others? And he answers with a good, decent example, putting God first. So that is what, how we started it out with them writing their own goals, and then we typed them up. And I want to just whiz through this a little bit with you quickly and show you how it changed according to the age of the child. So if you look at this first page, Jamie's personal goals, we started with character, what characteristics were a goal that we were trying to achieve by the end of that year. And then the learning, what was on his learning goals. You'll see it says typing here because he was doing a typing tutor. And then his language goals and Bible, finished reading the toddler Bible on my own. That was one of his goals. And then personal goals. Okay. And then we go to the next page. And you see, I asked Jamie if I could share this with all of you. So he's fine with it. All right. We've got another one like this for Missy, but I haven't checked with her if we can share that. So we're just sharing this one for now. All right. So now you'll see character's got a few more character traits in it than the previous one. There were just 3. And now there's some more characteristics that we want to be focusing on. And then the learning has also grown a bit. We've got maths, science, and language, typing, and then personal again. We go to the next page. And now it starts at the top with spiritual growth, character, household things, order in the bedroom, take initiative to offer help to others. You see, this is household support. And then there's personal support and then learning. Okay? See how the order has changed? And now you're going to notice the following year, you've got character, learning, goals, Bible study goals. And then at the bottom, you've got personal goals followed by pleasure. Because what started happening is we started asking him, what are the things you'd really love to do this coming year? And so you'll see on his pleasure notes here, he said, play golf once a month, fly with Stephen. That's my brother who's a pilot. And Jamie wanted to go flying with him. That was going to be a pleasure to have people visiting us at Woodlings and have time at the beach and go on a golf tour. So that was a whole lot of pleasure things that we knew that our son would like to have accomplished at the end of that year. It so happened that he did accomplish all of those things. So at the end of the year, being December, coming towards the final month of the year, we would then sit down with these goals, this goal list that we had and seen how much of it had been accomplished that year. For example, had he managed to do what his goal was for spiritual, household, learning, personal, pleasure, and so on. So now this little book, as you can see, is he covered it with this fabric himself. He liked this fabric. And our daughter liked gold. She made her book all golden and shiny. And so basically it's just simply a very simple little exercise book, little notebook, hard covered, and you know, I don't know how much further to talk about this because it was very, very near and close to our hearts, this step that we took with our children, because at the end of a year or beginning of the year, we would sit as a family and we would take each one of those areas and we would discuss, not all at the same time. We wouldn't sit and talk about spiritual goals and then followed by learning goals and then followed by. We took our time with hearing from them what was their goal for that coming year. What would they really like to accomplish? And so that is, to me, was like a kind of Konos living. I mean, I know it came out my Konos memory basket, and I call it Konos living because of the focus on developing character. But you'll see, we also had learning goals, pleasure goals, personal spiritual goals as well. And this, to me, was a good, how can I say, like a laser beam to keep us focused on what each individual in the family was needing to achieve, wanting to achieve, hoping to achieve. And the exciting part was because we had that typed up and I knew what was in their goal book, they knew, we could reference back to it. So if, for example, let's say Jamie was doing the typing tutor, because typing was there every year, as you noticed, maybe you noticed that, but let's say he became disinterested after a while, like he wasn't as interested any longer in this typing tutoring, so like he doesn't really feel like doing it or whatever. Then I could take him to his goal book and I could say to him, but look, one of your goals this year is to actually advance with your typing tutor. So how are you going to achieve that if we don't just persistently work through it? So I could use the goal book and take it to them as this was your own goal. It wasn't mom saying, you've got to do your typing tutor, and like being behind them all the time. It was actually taking them to their own goals and reminding them of them and helping them achieve it and having reason themselves to achieve it. Okay, I'm not saying that this just happened and that all those goals were met and we just went on to the next year. Sometimes, if we really studied this book, you would see that certain goals went from one year to the next, and so they weren't just achieved that year. We didn't just conquer that and reach that goal. And maybe, let's just take a pleasure one, let's say flying with Stephen was on the goal book, but it never happened that year for whatever reason. Then either we had to take it off because it wasn't going to happen for whatever reason and change it to something else, or maybe put it on to the next year so that we could still hopefully achieve that goal. So Sylvie, do you want to share?
Yes,
I hope you're happy that I showed you one of my other little memory from our Konos memory basket. Let me go back to the Facebook page here and see. Why is Sylvie saying Grant, I wonder? And I'm glad that Lucy is pleased that she can be watching live. I hope you're still there, Lucy. I'm just checking here to see if there are any questions that I need to be attending to. This was another thing from my memory basket that I don't think we're going to do today. I don't have my tea over here. Because today was mostly about sharing one thing from my memory basket, which I've now done for you, and it was appreciation. It was to have Thanksgiving for all of you. I really, really appreciate and I'm excited for next year and being able to continue supporting you in this journey. And on that, I'm just having a look at my own notes here or questions that have come in up until today. And the one question was about the moms retreats. I'd like you just to know that on the website, there's an event tab at the top. You know, you've got that line of tabs, store and home. So there's one called events. If you would like to know more about the moms retreats, you can click on that event tab. It'll tell you when the dates are for the moms retreats. And there's an email that you can address that you can click on. I would suggest you do that anyway, even if you are planning on attending a retreat or not, because if you click on, we're not putting all the information on the website because it changes. So we've just put the dates there. So if you want more information, you're not going to find it on the website, the practical information. The only way you're going to get it is if you email that assistant at Oikos Family, and then you will receive an email from that email that you send requesting to know more about the moms retreats. And you'll get all the information on that email. The times and what the focus is and how it all works and what is our bed limit, because some moms sleep over and some don't. Some just come for the day if they're local and they can. Those who are traveling further sometimes join together with a few others and they travel together and so on. So you would get all the information you need about location and maps and practicals and catering and all that from the email you will receive after you have sent a request for that information. So I would like to encourage you moms who are watching about these moms retreats to remind you that we're having them next year at Oikos here in the Karkloof in KZN, and they are very special. They're very intimate. There's only a maximum of 8 people can be, but preferably 6 because the other 2 are sleeper couch in the lounge plan. But there are 6 beds, but we can accommodate 8. And so they're small. That's why it's quite important that if you're interested and you're wanting to come with a friend, they can get booked up quite quickly. So we're encouraging you to attend them anyway, because even if the first 3 of the year are booked, you can book the next one available slot. And we just hope that you can maybe make it once a year or more to attend to these moms retreats. I'll tell you why, because I asked the moms at the last retreat whether they wanted us to carry on, whether they thought, I was getting feedback from them, should we do moms retreats next year? And it was, yes, of course, please, don't stop. Because the ones that were there had been to previous retreats over the years and had shared with me how valuable they found them and for whatever their personal reasons were. And so I was really encouraged by that, to hear that these retreats are something that we must keep going. They were more valuable to the moms than I even realized. So that's what I'm telling you about them. And the other thing I'm telling you about, which you already know about if you're watching this, is these live streamings, because I've spoken to a few moms this week while they're trying to get things organized for the end of the year and get their orders in, and they were needing some help. And I mentioned to them where they could find that help on the website. And then they would phone back a day or 2 later and say, share with me, that they had no idea that there was so much help on the website for them. They hadn't realized that there was detail about Read Aloud, like a video about that, and that there were courses that they could watch. And then they discovered about the live streaming as well. And they were really pleased to hear that there was so much support available to them. So I thought, well, I must share that on live streaming to those who are watching it now live or after the fact, to encourage you to encourage other people. Things that you've discovered on the website, please tell others about it, because we want to support them. We don't want them to not realize that there's so much support available to them. I was quite surprised. I have been quite surprised this last couple of weeks to hear how many people were unaware of the amount of support that Oikos has got available for them on the website. Okay, so that is that, ladies. I think that I have shared with you everything that I had planned to today. I am really, really pleased that we could get this in before we have load shedding and our power gets turned off. There we are. I've shared with you everything that I was planning to. But Sylvie, if you're still there, I'm excited. Sylvie's coming to the Moms Retreat this weekend, so I'm looking forward to seeing you in a few days, Sylvie. But also, you shared with me something about games, that Sylvie's bought some tabletop family board games for her family, for her and Grant have bought for the end of the year. And she's got a plan with these games, which I'm looking forward to sharing with you. So I'm going to find out more from her on the weekend. And then I will hopefully have Sylvie back to visit and to be a guest again here in our studio, because she has been before when she shared her testimony. And I'm hoping that she'll be able to be a guest again, where she can share with us her testimony about playing games with her children. So thank you, Sylvie, for that. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing you this weekend, and anybody else who's going to join our Moms Retreats. I'm excited about it. I'm so looking forward to 2019 and being at a place where we can keep on supporting you. That is just fantastic. I'm glad that it's been able to happen. And thank you each and every one for your journey with Oikos as well, because as I said at the beginning, if you weren't there, we wouldn't have you to support and serve and help. So thank you for that. And it's a privilege. And we hope that you have a fantastically blessed end of year as you wind it up, and that 2019 is going to be wonderful. This may be sounding like I'm not going to talk to you again this year, but I plan on doing some more live streams before the year is out. So I look forward to seeing you at the next one. Thank you for joining me. Bye.